the hero W, renowned for wielding the holy sword Elsie, concluding a subjugation report before his king. The king expresses deep gratitude, acknowledging Wells' 19 years of service in protecting the nation of Krenlard from magic beasts and noting that W has only 1 year left until his retirement. He assures W that he can finally rest, as they can now welcome the new year in peace. W, reflecting on his past, recalls how his ordinary life was drastically altered when he pulled out the holy sword Elsie 19 years prior. An explanation follows about magic beasts, creatures that mutated violently from unknown causes and plagued the continent. These beasts, transformed from normal animals, grew larger, more ferocious, and developed unnaturally tough skin, rendering conventional weapons useless. Humanity eventually discovered that holy weapons, forged from special ores and empowered by mana, could defeat these monsters, leading to nations forming around those who could wield such sacred arms. The kingdom of Hillard, Wells' nation, is protected by 2 such weapons, the holy sword Elsie and the holy lance Vencel. Later, at a New Year's banquet held in Wells' honor, the royal family, including King Lordvat, Queen Feliatial, the first Princess Mariciel, a saintess, and the second Princess Elisial, celebrate with him. Princess Mariciel praises Wells' recent battle prowess, while Queen Feliatial observes Wells' humble demeanor. King Lordvat encourages WL to see him as an older brother rather than a monarch. W, a commoner with no surviving family and little experience with such social events, still feels out of place despite the royal family's consistent kindness. During the celebration, King Lordvat shares exciting news. At the recent hero selection ceremony, someone finally managed to pull out the holy lance Vencel, meaning a new hero would soon succeed W. The princesses express their astonishment, with Elisial recounting how even the strongest knights couldn't budge the lance. W explains to Elisial that sacred weapons choose their wielders based not on mere strength but on their compatibility with mana, a life force present in all living things. He further elaborates that channeling mana through these special or forged weapons is crucial for harming magic beasts. Without it, they are merely ornate objects. This ability to wield mana is rare, and candidates for hero selection are chosen based on this potential. King Lordvat then shifts the conversation to Wells' retirement reward, proposing that W marry one of his daughters, Mariciel or Elisial, to secure his future. W vehemently declines, feeling unworthy of such an honor. The king reminds him that his predecessor, Marissa, a commoner and former Holy Lance hero, married into the royal family. Despite the pressure, W maintains that he only desires a modest pension and the opportunity to train the new Holy Lance hero. He views the princesses as nieces rather than potential spouses. Later that night, in his guest room, W reflects on the king's pushiness when drinking, a sentiment shared by Elsie, the spirit dwelling within his holy sword. Elsie, who was once human, communicates telepathically with W, remarking on his unusual level of intoxication. She teases him about knowing his thoughts, and W good-naturedly asks her to respect his privacy. Elsie, who has fought alongside WL for 19 years without him ever seeing her true form, wonders if the next hero will be able to hear her voice, a unique connection only she and WL share. As WL contemplates the busy year ahead with beast hunting and training the new hero, Elsie suddenly screams in distress. WL awakens abruptly to find himself restrained on a public platform in the royal castle square, surrounded by a murmuring crowd. He is utterly bewildered as accusations fly. People claim he got drunk and assaulted the saintess, Princess Mariciel. Flashbacks show a compromising, though unclear, situation. Before W can comprehend the unfolding nightmare, Elsie's voice cuts through, declaring his innocence and calling the situation a farce. The vice captain of the knights, a man known for his animosity towards W, steps forward with a smirk, announcing Wells' punishment, exile from the kingdom, decreed by an imperial order from King Lordvat himself. The crowd jeers as the vice captain revels in Wells' downfall, branding him a fake hero and an impostor who only achieved his status by chance. As W stands accused and condemned, the vice captain confiscates the holy sword. Elsie, in her spirit form, materializes from the sword, apologizing for her inability to protect him and thanking him for the years they fought together, a time during which she too felt like a hero. With a final, sorrowful scream, Elsie fades away, leaving the holy sword behind as W is carted out of the kingdom, branded a criminal. His role as a hero abruptly ended. W sits dejectedly by the roadside, realizing he no longer possesses the holy sword or his title. Just as despair sets in, Elsie's voice returns, telling him he's hopeless without her. She has managed to transfer her essence into his father's keepsake dagger. Elsie passionately scolds WL for his loyalty to the ungrateful kingdom and for not fighting the false accusations, explaining she had been trying to uncover the plot from within. WL, devastated, admits he feared tainting the image of a hero if he resisted. With only a few possessions, his cloak, canteen, a sack, all technically Night Order property, the dagger housing Elsie, and some hidden coins, WL and Elsie begin their exile. They wander aimlessly, finding temporary respite in a small village that offers them food and water. However, over the next week, they are repeatedly turned away as Wells' wanted poster, accusing him of treason, spreads rapidly across human lands. Frustrated and with nowhere to go in human territories, Elsie suggests they venture into the demon territory, unknown lands west of Krenlard said to be inhabited by demons and non-humans. Despite his reservations about such a perilous place, WL agrees, trusting Elsie's judgment. Their journey is arduous, and weeks later, a tattered and exhausted WL collapses, believing his end is near. As Elsie cries out in alarm, WL faintly perceives a figure approaching. He passes out, and when he regains consciousness, a young girl with blue hair, crimson eyes, and small crimson horns is attempting to give him water. Elsie, her spiritual energy weakened, struggles to communicate, confirming WL is awake. WL in his dazed state, thinks the girl is an angel. Elsie, reading his thoughts even in her weakened state, playfully asks if he intends to eat a nearby worm, much to Wells' internal chagrin. The little girl, whose name is Delilah, calls out for help, and an older horned woman, her mother, appears, asking what Delilah is doing. Delilah innocently reports that the Mr. wants to eat Miss Wormy, as WL beholds this second angel, marking a new, uncertain chapter in his upended life.